Well, it is biblical out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm quite pleased I'm going to sound like that archetypal middle-aged woman. It's so good for the garden. But it is. I mean, I'm literally watching the grass. You can hear it creaking as it grows. My dahlias, which were not looking in very good fettle, I'm sure will be loving this, and my roses. So yes, in one way, I'm thrilled at the rain. In the next way, which is the climate way and the water company way, not so much. Oh, please do like, subscribe and share. 33,000 now. Yay! Well done us. So my thought process is, and we're not going to get into stats and fat cat bosses, bonuses and all that stuff. We all know that the bonuses, the bosses at the water company just get absolute blank check, basically. What I'm thinking, as I'm literally sitting and looking at the water coming down, is going, where's it going? Because we haven't got any reservoirs because we've stopped building them, and our roads are all knackered, so our drains don't work, so it's running down roads and it's causing potholes and it's pulling roads up. You know, there'll be leaks left, right and centre. And I'm thinking, what we can do with this water? Is it a good thing? Because whilst I'm saying it's a good thing for the garden, I feel like it's a bad thing for everything else. Even though we should be going, yay, at last there is water, because, you know, the Environment Agency keeps telling us to look after the water that we use. Don't use your hosepipe. You know, the onus is on us as the consumer to look after the water. Yet if we look at what the water companies are losing every year, it is not us who are the problem. So let's have a little look. I know I said I wouldn't do stats and stuff, but there's a few that I think you might find interesting. So 1 trillion litres of water were lost in 2023-2024. That's something like over 1,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools lost. 19 to 20% of all treated water is lost before it reaches the customers. So it goes from the water treatment place, and before it gets to us, we've lost 20% of it. We've lost a fifth of the water just through leaks and it going in the wrong place and a, you know, leaky tap, a drippy tap, the washer wasn't on tight enough. We've then got 3 billion litres of water a day is lost. Now that costs us, the consumer, £396 million a year. That goes on our bills. So the water that we're losing is costing us nearly £400 million a year. But we've got a hosepipe ban because it's our fault, because we've got to look after the water. But the Environment Agency, they're telling us, you know, don't use it, look after it carefully. What is it? Love every drop. Okay. But the water companies, they don't appear to be loving any drops, do they? In fact, they appear to be just going, oh, let them eat cake, as it were. There is no rehabilitation planned for our water system. Absolutely none. So whilst we all sit here and go, well, the garden needs it, well, it's good for the garden, it's good for the plants, it's actually hideous for the rest of us, because this water is not being utilised. We are not using it to our best potential. We are simply allowing it to destruct our country even more by the fact that drains will be overflowing because we don't keep our drains clean, and the water pipes will be overflowing because we don't look after our water pipes. And you know, and I know, that a flash flood like this will mean that we drive down the road and that it will all come bubbling out of the drain pipe. Yet we live on an island, quite a small island, but we've got no water. And I know that this is not just this government's fault, far from it. You know, we have on this one, I don't think we need to look too far as to who we need to blame. But what are we doing to get out of it? What are we doing? What are we going more faster with? What are we actually doing to address this? And yet we're giving £70 million to Singapore for their green climate, whatever it is, efforts that they need. But we are losing, how many trillion did I say? 1 trillion litres of water in 2023, 2024, which is costing us £396 million a year, but we're giving 70 million to Singapore. I mean, how much did we give to Syria? We're giving money away left, right and centre, and we can't fix what's going on at home, which is a national disgrace. So whilst I sit and look out the window and go, I'm so pleased it will be good for the garden, and my water butts are filling up at a rate of knots, they'll be overflowing soon. But what are the water companies doing? I'm doing my bit. Are they doing theirs? And I think it's a big fat no.